Hello, my name is Arthur. I'm the Managing Director here at ShedMate, and welcome to this session in which we're going to discuss how you can become an independent supplier of ShedKits. So if you're already in this business, you're probably involved with some bigger brands, and then you buy materials from them. They provide you with a software, and that speeds up a bit the process. But you might be looking for something else, right? And if you want to become an independent, you might be asking, how would I become an independent supplier of ShedKits? Any thoughts? There might be lots of things to come to your mind. For instance, hey, I'll need to launch a website form to collect the leads. I'll need to find a quoting system. I'll need to implement a project management system so we can actually understand where each project is, documentation, client details, all of that. I need to sort out engineering services to sign and give me a certificate of compliance for those projects. I need to find a draftsperson or outsource the service, to someone who can provide me with site plan for council approvals, for instance, or architectural plans, or even fabrication plans, so you can send to your suppliers to cut and punch, right? You need to liaise with suppliers, and there is a lot of things you need to do. So I invite you now to, instead of asking how, you can ask who or what can help me to do that. So let me introduce myself first. My name is, as I said, Arthur Bessoni. I'm an engineer with strong background in building information modeling. So I used to work developing sheds and commercial buildings using systems that can integrate with augmented reality, virtual reality, and lots of technology aimed at automating processes so we can produce more with less. And through the years, we have been developing ShedMate and showcasing what we have been doing at different events all over the world, like this one in Las Vegas in 2019, events like here in South Australia. And pretty much our company, we help shed businesses and manufacturers to cut up to 95% of the time to design, quote, document, and fabricate steel projects by offering them cutting-edge technology. I'll repeat that again because sometimes it can be too good to be true. We help to cut up to 95% of the time to design, quote, document, and fabricate steel projects. All right? And we're going to show you how to do it, but pretty much just to give you like a context, this is our main client, right? Chris. So Chris spends most of his days quoting shed projects for his clients. He's a reseller of, and you can fill out the blank there with your own situation, depending of what kind of big supplier you are involved with. And he wishes to become an independent supplier to have control in his business and increase margins by selling custom shed kits instead of being stuck with out-of-the-shelf ones where the margin is too low, maybe. So if you want to have control over your business, or if you know someone maybe intimately who is in a similar situation, you probably have a few blocks. Why haven't you made that move yet? So maybe because it can be too complex to get all of the documentation ready to quote, design, and fabricate. So you're stuck with the software from these big brands that tie you to these suppliers. So you want to buy from a different supplier, but you can't, right? And most shed businesses, they face similar issues. All right, so we've been dealing with shed businesses for a while, and there is a lack of qualified skilled professionals in regional areas where bigger shed builder companies are based, especially for the rural and agricultural areas. We have a large number of small projects, so as I said, you need kind of a planning or a project management system because it's very easy to lose track of all of the information. There are lots of design changes, and this can be a hard time, especially if you don't have good people internally to make all of those changes. And this leads to variations, problems at the site. So you spend a lot of your time trying to solve those problems, what can be very frustrating. All right, you're not growing your business, you're just fire extinguishing. And this is very frustrating. Most of the communication generally is through email based. So you are pretty much all day long in your Outlook or just looking for emails and replying people all the time. In terms of technical documentations, you might be familiar with some CAD based drawings as the final output. So people who have like CAD or PDFs, and then to make modifications in them, can lead to human errors as well. There is a huge decentralized source of information and little communication between office and field. If you think about it, what would be the existing solutions out there. So there are a few different solutions. Some of them are very good for specific areas like inquiry, but they end up there. So you can have a very nice inquiry system, and the output is just an email that you can collect the lead details, but you don't use that through the workflow of the process. Or on the other side, you might have a very good solution technically, but that requires skilled professionals to handle them, like tackless structures or advanced steel solutions that can, help you, but you need very good people to do that. So this is a limitation we faced while dealing with people in this industry. There are many different software out there, and many of these software, they are limited to this specific engineering constraints. So if you want to put like a sliding door, a mezzanine, or something like that, you can't, because the system cannot calculate it. So this is why we came up with ShedMate. So ShedMate is a collaborative web-based platform. What the hell does that mean? It means that you don't need to install anything, and everything works in real time. As you're making modifications here, someone else in your office can see those things happening in real time. All you need is a tablet, computer, or even your phone to log into the system and use it. So you can actually start running your business remotely. If you're traveling, you can open the system and everything will be there. Every single modification that your team made, every single new revision for quote, everything is on the same place. So centralization of information is very important, especially making sure that the whole information is correct. And this is something we invested a lot of time and money to make sure this would work all right. So we help shed business and manufacturers to design, quote, and fabricate steel buildings in real time. For one client specifically, we've got more than 1,000 shed projects designed and produced so far. What made the system very reliable, because as we were going and developing things, we started making modifications, fixing bugs. So the system is pretty good, and I'll present to you a little bit of it. So now I ask to yourself, okay, what if you could design, quote, and fabricate steel buildings in real time? How would that change your business? How many clients could you get more with the same team? All right, I'm not talking about spending team. I'm saying, hey, same team member you have now, but doing things in real time. So ShedMate gives you ability to benefit from the whole workflow. From the moment the client requests a quote, the lead generation, that information goes to the quoting system, in which you can upload your own quoting pricing lists from different suppliers in different regions, including administrative costs for council approval or CITB levy or whatever you want to do there. It has a built-in project management, in which you can go there and check every single project status, what client is related to, what documents were already produced. It allows you to edit site information, so you can produce a site plan ready for like council approval in minutes with very little training. It provides you with a whole list of bill of materials that you can export to Excel or just visualize in the system directly. Engineering and material ordering services that you can just print and send to your suppliers with every single item you need to produce that shed. And also fabrication details that you can print plans automatically as well and send to your suppliers so they can cut and punch. Depending on what kind of supplier you were dealing with for your frames, we can actually speed up that process and not only send a PDF, but also send a file they can just input in their machinery, so the machinery can start cutting and punching with all of that data built in. So let's talk about ShedMate. I'll just pass through some visuals here, and at the end, if you're interested, please reach out. We can book a meeting to understand better how your company works and what we are trying to achieve, so we can create a tailored demonstration for your business. So this is our inquiry system. It's very simple to use. You can use it to receive inquiries directly from your website, or just put in your Facebook page or share with people as a text message. They log in. Actually, they don't need to log in. They just go to the system, and at the end they can click here on quote, and all of the information will be submitted through your portal, in which you can submit them back a quote. Okay. This is the portal. So we're gonna have projects like this. Hey, we have a new inquiry from Tony Stark. This is the address. That's when the inquiry was sent to us. This is the person who created that and who is responsible for it. You have all of the details of the client there, including the address. If you're using on your phone, you can just click here and it's going to trace the GPS so you can go there for delivery or to site visit. You can see in a map where that client is located, and also you can see the shed details. So from here you can see the cladding layout, you can see the fabrication module, you can see the architectural plans, and you can update them before submitting a quote. This is very important because sometimes clients, they just design something that's not really practical. So you have the opportunity to call them back and design based on what the client sent to you. You can design the shed or create from scratch a new design and send to the client so they can actually review it with full architectural plans. For preliminary computation, so we can provide a better quote, you can opt to use our own engineering, or you can actually load your own generic engineering database if you already have one. So some clients, some people in this industry, they have like a huge catalog with, you know, their frames, their sizes, depending on what they're gonna do in specific wind regions. So you are more than welcome to use that for preliminary analysis, so you can actually provide them with a better quote. Okay. Then ShedMate will pretty much look into the database you have and update those frames in real time as well. So you don't have to do that one by one. It's going to be done automatically. And this is going to change the bill of materials in real time. So the bill of materials works in real time. As you're making changes in the shed, it's always updated, and you can export the bill of materials, or you can see in different categories such as frames, flashing, gutters, pipes, concrete details, connections, claddings, openings, roll doors, sliding doors. Everything will be there for you. And then our quoting system works this way. Once you upload your own costing database and create, it's going to create a professional quote in a click. So you can select from different costing databases you might have. So if you have a database from a specific supplier and another database for a different supplier with costs for frames, for instance, you can actually compare those quotes in real time and see what would be better for you. And if you hit the download button here, you can download in real time a quotation document that's kind of a professional quote that you can forward to your client to print and hand to them in the first meeting. That's going to include everything from the project information, building specifications, optional extras, steps for confirmation of the order and payment, and a basic drawings of that shed, so they actually can see what they're quoting. All right. Everything here is customizable, so it's a Word document format, so you can put your own logo on it, change the colors, change the structure of it, what items you want to include or not. So very, very, very cool. And then if the project's booked in, the client says, yes, I want to go ahead. So you can opt in to submit this to engineering. So if you use our engineering, you're going to pay a fee to use it, and we're going to provide you with the certificate of compliance and with the structural documentation you need. Otherwise, if you have your own engineer, you have your own system, or you want to do your own way, you can just skip this part, okay? So ShedMate doesn't tie you to this. If you use our engineering, this can take from 2 hours to 2 days, depending on the project. So there are a few rules that goes in the back end to make sure that the shed's going to be designed to suit. And you're going to see in your environment like the engineering that's done or pending, or the systems or projects that you don't have engineering for, right? So once you have your engineering, if you are using bracket systems for your connections, so ShedMate can input all of the brackets automatically, and this is gonna cut the frames to the right size and produce cladding layouts or marking plans as the structural framing elevations, as you can see here. And this is very good for installation purposes because you have every single details there produced automatically for you. We also have a site plan system that uses high resolution imagery. So this that you see right here in front of you is from Google Maps, all right? So ShedMate will automatically get the block boundaries. You can position your shed as you have here in the right place. It's gonna tell you how far it is from the corners. And if you activate the high resolution, this is what we've got. So we have a much better view using an integration with MetroMap, in which you can actually measure existing buildings, and you can skip a site visit and do everything from your office and just press a button to download a site plan that you can use for council approval for your shire, right? You can also export in a click. I'll say that again, in a click, construction plans ready for council approval. So After you have your shed ready, ShedMate will produce automatically a 3D model for you, the floor plan, some elevations with details about the roof angle, about roller doors, sliding doors, mezzanines, everything will be there, all right? And if you're using a specific software inside your company like AutoCAD or Revit or Tekla, ShedMate can integrate with all of them. So ShedMate will send kind of a native AutoCAD file or Tekla or advanced steel file, you're covered. Depending on what you're using internally, if you want to make modifications or if you want to create a building extension, for instance, you can do the main shed inside ShedMate, go to the other system you use and complement and finish the design there. So this is a very good solution in integration, especially for bigger companies who already have a system in place, all right? We also have all of the technical documentation as you're producing is stored in the same place. So as I said, if you're traveling and the client wants to see the quoting again, you can just open your phone, go to that project, and you see a list there of the architectural plans, fabrication frame, quotes, orders, site plan, everything will be there in the same file. So you can easily send to anyone you want. So it creates more agility. So it's a very good solution to share information with other people across multiple organizations. And once again, if you're using if you're using a bracket system, ShedMate will automatically create the frame fabrication drawings for you. So all of this frame fabrication with the punching and everything, you can export automatically in PDF and send to your supplier of frames, and they will cut and punch and send that to you in a very good way. Here's the cladding layout that you can produce automatically as well. This is great for installation because once you receive that cladding from your supplier, you can see actually what's the size of each of those and where they're going in the shed, from the roof, walls. And if you do concreting as well, ShedMate will produce the concreting plan based on the hold down bolts or different foundation systems that you might have. All right. And it doesn't end there. We also have our ordering system that's going to list everything that ShedMate has in terms of items. And then you can select each of those items. Let's say I want to create an order for gutters and pipes. You can select both. And then ShedMate will create an order like this one here that you can just print and send to your supplier as well. So it speeds up all of the documentation. As I said, contract, quoting, documentation for installation, documentation for council approval, site plan. Everything can be done in the same platform and with the same integration. And if you're using web trusses, zipper links for solid steel, please reach out. We have a different solution for you as well. I'm not covering this in this video. This video is mostly for C-section frame, people who want to be independent suppliers, but we do have solid steel capabilities as well and integration with Tekla that can speed up your workflow if you're dealing with the bigger buildings. All right, talking about benefits, right? So this is going to shift the inquiry process from the salesman to the client. So clients will be able to send a quote to you and you're going to receive the whole design done and you can just make the modifications, call the client. So it speeds up that decision-making process so you can actually close deals faster. It brings you time savings in up to 95%. As I said, ShedMate produces most of the documentation automatically. So we have compared this with other clients, how they used to do it using like CAD or using other systems and people to do that manually and the errors that it can create and generate. And ShedMate pretty much cuts up to 95% of the time, especially if you're using your brackets details, because ShedMate creates all of the documentation for you automatically. It's very flexible and quick to make design changes. So if a client comes and says, hey, I want to change the roof pitch, that used to be a big problem, but now you can go to ShedMate, just change the roof pitch and just create the documentation again, and ShedMate will do everything automatically. You can access it from anywhere, any device, anytime. It gives your company more scalability, transparency, and control. You're on top of what's happening. You have transparency of who is making changes. You can scale your business to sell more without having to expand your team a lot. So this is one of the big features, is the peace of mind. And our customers are saying this is like, hey, Arthur, I love the fact that I know what's going on there. I know that I create a shed and it won't be those human errors. I don't have to be dealing with people with problems all the time. So this simplifies a lot. And this allows quick data sharing between office field and shareholders, reduces your costs, especially with drafting, with design, with inquiry, with sales. It gives you a faster delivery project. I could deliver a full project in like a few minutes with everything ready. So you can produce like more than 60 pages of documentation to send to council, suppliers, everyone else. So this is great. Okay, once the system is set up, it's amazing. And it gives you better communication workflows and the possibility to offer new business services. This has been a common factor of people using ShedMate. As soon as they start using ShedMate, they say, hey, I don't need to have all of these people doing sheds. I can have, just 1-2 people handling everything. So I can actually use my team to provide new business services. So let's get bigger buildings. Let's, expand the business to do something else. So it means that with the same amount of people, you can have more money coming in because you can use your team better. ShedMate gives a more reliable output because it's computer-based. Computers don't make mistakes if, the information is set up properly. So you can trust that it's going to work well. You don't need like software licenses depending on the kind of projects you're doing. So you can just use ShedMate and do everything there. And you have a huge reduction in drafting costs. So what I can tell you after showing you all of this is don't be those guys, all right? So this is very common in this industry. I know everyone is super busy in Australia. There's a lot going on, but you might be using the wrong tools like this, here. So ShedMate offers you a better solution so your business can run smoothly. It can run in a good manner. So please reach out, all right? We have a team here passionate about what we do, and we're going to help you to succeed. Your success is our success. So we're going to be together helping you the more we can. It's not just a piece of software you buy and you use internally now. We actually have a good community that want to see your business thrive. And if you're curious about how long it takes, we have a 21-day process in which first day you provide us with the company details and you fill out a form with the company construction methods so we can actually understand, okay, what kind of sheds your company does. So if you don't do mezzanines, we're not going to put mezzanines in your system. So we try to simplify as much as we can so it can be more tailored to your business. And then you're going to provide us information about the range of materials you use, PDFs or drawings about your bracket connections, or if you do welded connections, we can handle that as well in a different way. What's your pricing database? So if you want us to help you out on setting up the pricing database, we have a team that we can have meetings, 15 minutes meetings daily during those period of days. And then we can help you out to set up all of that. So once you start using ShedMate after the 21 days, it's going to be ready for you. All right. And then we ask you as well for copies of quotes, contracts, invoices, engineering reports, how you do things. So we can set up those in ShedMate. So you can create those automatically as well using ShedMate. And then you're going to receive the inquiry system in which you can start receiving inquiries from day 9. And then we are going to, propose how your custom documents are gonna show up and are gonna be exported by ShedMate, and then you're gonna spend a few days testing it. So let's just do jobs, test, make sure it's working all right. We're gonna review and iterate, and at about day 2021, we're gonna have a validation and final implementation of ShedMate. Depending on what plan you're going to, that's gonna take 1 day, all right? If it's the simpler plan. If you're going from using the inquiry system and also the quoting plan, that can be a shorter period of time as well, maybe 8 days. Or if you want everything fabrication included, that can take 21 days just so we can set up everything. So obviously you have to do your part. We do our part as well. And working together in 1 month, you're going to have everything set up. Great thing about ShedMate is we bring the responsibility to us. All right. So we trust in the system we have. So we have money back guarantee. It means that at the end of these 21 days, if you do your part, we do our part. And if you're not satisfied, you look and say, hey, I don't think it's going to be a fit for my business, or, it's not going to work well. We give your money back 100%, no questions. All right. Just say, okay, here's your money. Thank you for the opportunity. See you later. So we do that because we trust in the system that we have developed, and we know that we can help you to save, hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on the size of your company. We have done that in the past, and I'm sure we can do that again. Here's a few questions you can, screenshot those. I'll just cover this really quickly. The contract, there's no contract, all right? It's no locked in contract. ShedMate's a monthly or annual subscription fee, and you can pay it monthly. And if you pay for five months, you don't like it, don't want to use it anymore, you can just cancel it. Simple as that. As I said, we trust the product we have. Some people say, hey, my Shed software is free, why should I change to ShedMate? And I'm sorry to say, but there's no free lunch. From our experience, people who say that, generally they use systems that they have to pay a fee per project booked in. And if you compare the price you are paying to them and the price you're going to pay to use ShedMate as a subscription model, you're going to save a lot of money. So as I said, there is space for everyone. If you are just a one-person guy or a company with 50 people, ShedMate can be a very good solution for you. So we have clients that started with a few different systems and they cancel these other systems as they notice, hey, ShedMate's actually doing everything for me, so I don't need the other systems anymore. So you don't actually have to cancel what you have at the moment. You can start implementing ShedMate and then you're going to see, hey, that's actually better than I was doing there. So as I said, it depends on the type of business you have as well. How long will it take me to set up the system with your team? There's a common question about those 21 days. So generally, if you send us those details via email, we might ask for 15 minutes daily, a quick meeting just to say, hey, that's what I've done. Is it making sense? All right. Tomorrow we're going to continue doing things and show it to you. And it depends on the company. Some companies, it's just a lot shorter. Some companies takes longer. So it depends on your processes. All right. People say, I don't have qualified professionals to run it. Will it be a problem? So guys, ShedMate was designed to be simple and easy to use. So even if you don't have any experience with a Shed program, you'll be fine, right? ShedMate is very intuitive. The buttons are easy to, press and go around. And we have a customer success team that will be, helping you on every single step of the process. And some people say, oh, my team is too small for this. And I can actually tell you, hey, we have clients that have just one guy that does everything in the business, from purchase to dealing with clients, handling orders. They use ShedMate, and we have companies with more than 50 people using ShedMate. So as I said, we have different plans for different companies to help them with their needs. And after we have a discovery call, I'll be asking you questions, and I can tell you straight away if that ShedMate is not a fit for you. I'll say, hey, no, sorry, it won't work for you. Or I can say, hey, I'm glad you shared that, because we have other clients that are saving hundreds of thousands of dollars annually using ShedMate, and you're a great fit. And then you can proceed to the next steps. So what I would say to you, if you are interested, please book a personalized demo on how you can scale your business using ShedMate. We can show you how you can do everything inside ShedMate, and we can answer all of your questions. And our team is here to help you to succeed and hopefully become an independent supplier of ShedKits, so you can have less headaches by running your business and spend more time with your family or whatever you want to do with your extra time. All right, that's it. Once again, I'm Arthur, Managing Director here. It was a pleasure to guide you through a little bit of what we do, and I can't wait to have a conversation with you through the phone or through a Zoom meeting. See you next time, and I hope you can start using ShedMate soon.